suspension video. We're going to move on into making your motorcycle do a, I don't know what you call it, like a well, anyhow, we're going to make it so more comfortable for long distance riding. So once you get the suspension all set up, that'll allow you to properly buy a seat. Now, I've gone through several seats in the past. I started out with the stock CVO seat. Now, with the problem I was running into was having a CVO. I didn't want to throw on I didn't want a backrest. Well, with the hammock seat, which I had on my last bike, you had to permanently mount a backrest acceptor, and you were kind of stuck with that seat permanently. So I wasn't really happy about that, because when we talk about seats, there's definitely functional seats, and then there are seats that are very cosmetic, very cool looking. And the whole idea is you want to have a seat that you can ride all day long and not have a problem with comfort. But the same aspect, you don't want to have a seat that's super comfortable and you get off your bike and you're like, man, that is the ugliest seat on earth. So the CVO seat was actually pretty decent for the driver. My wife absolutely hated riding on the back. So what I would do when she rode with me, I would take off the CVO seat and put it on a hammock seat. She absolutely loves the hammock seat. It was a pretty cushiony seat, pretty wide, gives her a good base to sit on. Well, this year things have changed a little bit. This year we went ahead and got her a trike. She got a 2017 Tri-Glide. She's super happy with it. The stock seat for the Tri-Glide wasn't great, but since I wasn't using the hammock seat, we went ahead and put that on the trike, which I will show you later on in this video. So I rode the stock CVO seat for a long time, and I'm going to be honest, it was probably 60,000 miles, and I think what started happening was the foam started breaking down and my tailbone was actually bottoming out and bruising up. So I went ahead and did plenty of research and ended up came across CIRO 3D, got together with Adam Sandoval and designed a seat. It was out of stock for a long time, so I almost gave up on it until right before this year. I purchased it, and keep that in mind, all these seats that I'm talking about, I did not get any discounts on. I paid full price just like a regular consumer. So they're not paying me for advertising at all. So I got the seat, and I'll link the videos that I which convinced me to buy it. Adam Sandoval made a really good video, and John Maxwell also made a really good video. Two guys I have much respect for. So I went ahead, purchased the seat. Now, when I bought the seat, the passenger seat was unavailable, either was the backrest. Very disappointed, but I was like, you know what, we're gonna run the seat and see how it does. In their videos they said it'd take about 500 miles, so I ordered it right before I went to Sturgis. And if anybody knows, when I go to Sturgis, I did not go directly there. So me and a buddy, he happened to get the same seat, but we went from Omaha, Nebraska, went through Wyoming, and ended up just west of Salt Lake the first night. So that was supposed to be, the seat was supposed to be broken in within 500 miles. Let me tell you, I was sore in different areas, which I typically wasn't with the rest of them. The seat has a channel down the middle to prevent you from bruising your tailbone. I will give you that my tailbone was not sore at all. So for the next few days, we drove across Nevada, went through Yosemite, which I can put a couple of those pictures up in there. It was a good ride. And then we went up to San Francisco, did the 101 all the way up to Vancouver, Washington. While I was in Vancouver, Washington, happened to look at the 03D site, and the passenger pillow and the backrest were available. So I bought them and had them shipped to where we were staying in the Sturgis. So by the time I got to Sturgis, they showed up the next day. Amazing response on their shipping time, but the seat was still rough. I mean, so spent 5 days in Sturgis, and by the time I started heading back, the seat was actually breaking in. So by the time I got back, I think I had 7,000 miles on the seat. And lo and behold, ever since then, the seat has just been amazing. They do say it does take a 500 miles to break in. I don't know if that's 500 miles on and off throughout a period of time, but my experience was it took a lot longer than 500 miles. But by the time I got to Sturgis, it was actually starting to feel pretty good. So I did visit a couple other seat manufacturers while I was in Sturgis. what else are you gonna do, right? Well, I actually talked to Corbin, and they were saying that their seats won't be broken until 10,000 miles. So I don't have money just to blow on another seat, so I decided to stick with this one. And I have probably 15, if not 20,000 miles on it this year, and it's become a really nice seat. So what I would have to say is, when we're shopping for seats, first thing we need to do is make sure our suspension is set up correctly. So, because you could have the most comfortable seat in the world, and if your suspension is horrible, you're asking a lot of that seat to make up for that suspension. Then you have once you have your seat all situated, you need to give it some time in the saddle. You know, this one they said 500 miles. I'd definitely give it more than 500. If you give it about 5,000, it became amazing after about started feeling really good after about 5,000. So and I'm sure that's with most every other seat. I've tried a Mustang seat in the past. I probably didn't give it enough time, and I handed it off to my son. My son's been riding it for thousands of miles, and he likes the seat. One thing that I've found is, whatever seat you have, it's really helpful if you have a backrest that's available, even if you don't ride it all or run the backrest all the time. But when you go on long distance trips, like we went down to Arizona to drop off my son to motorcycle mechanic school, and I ran the backrest, and the seat was amazing. The only other thing that I have found with this 03D seat was it has gel packs in it, and I've noticed if it sits out in the blazing sun, that seat holds heat like no other. So when parking it for long periods of time outside, I did get a cover that I can cover the seat with to keep the heat off. Especially when we went down to Arizona, because it gets so hot so quickly. But while you're on it, I could ride on it all day long down there, and I was fine. So I will get back to the house and show you some different seats that I own, and if you guys like have any seats that you prefer, definitely comment what you like, and why is it, do you feel it's such a great seat? Maybe it can help out a rider or two. Alright, when I get back to the house, we'll finish this up and we'll go over some different seats. Alright folks, we're back at the garage. I can go ahead and show you the original seat that I had on my CVO. I think it was breaking down throughout here and through the padding here. I do really like the fact that I had it redone with some stitching in it. Really nice seat, but I need to get it redone because I was bottoming out right through my tailbone, right through here,
So I'll probably get that redone at some time. I did mention about the hammock seat. I gave it to my wife, put on her trike, so it has a good amount of padding throughout, keeping your tailbone off the bike, but it does require you to use a Harley backrest as such. So with that, on the CVO, I would actually have to have permanently mounted that kind of hardware, and I didn't like the looks of it so much. So the seat that I was talking to you about was this one. The nice thing about this seat, it has gel throughout it, and this section through here doesn't allow your tailbone to hit the you don't ride on the tailbone, so your tailbone, after hundreds of miles, I was sore, but my tailbone wasn't bruised, which was amazing. Now that's just what it looks like as a solo seat. Looks fairly good. I'm going to put the passenger pad on it. It does take two hands, so you'll have to hold up, and I'll have to come back and show you that here in a second. Alright, as you can see, the passenger pillow is on it now. Really nice thing about it, it does really help give a little more lumbar support right there. It's flat, so when I put a sissy bar on, I can actually strap a bag onto it, which is really nice. And it does accept a backrest. Backrest just slips right in to the seat. A little harder to do one-handed. But can be done. It does have this nice little pocket in the back for whatnot. Has a couple different positions so you can adjust it up and down. Like I was saying, more you ride with it, better it feels. I'll say it's a really good seat, but you have to put time into it. Hope you enjoyed my review on it. Like I said, it took me, it wasn't 500 miles, I'd say it's about 5,000 to get it fully broke in. I'm gonna run it for a while. I really enjoy it. It's really nice because it doesn't spread your legs out a whole lot through here. Allows you to get to the ground. If you're a short rider and unfamiliar parking lots and whatnot, it's really nice. So Adam, I'd have to say you did a real good job helping designing this seat. I do recommend anybody that tries it out, you have to put time into breaking it in. It says 500 miles. I would have to say it's a lot more than 500 miles. But the more you ride on it, the better it'll feel. I hope you like my video. If you do, like, subscribe to my channel. And I'll have another video out shortly, hopefully. I've been busy with school. I'm trying to go back and get a degree. as well as work full time. So I'm doing this in my spare time, not getting paid for them. So if you could do me a favor and like and subscribe, I'd appreciate it. Thank you.